People always talk about it only taking 6 months to change your life, only takes a year to change your life, which is definitely true because I've experienced that myself, but it doesn't always correlate to money or the end goal. Like, there's a lot of people that were working for years and years and years and years, and then they had 1 year where their life completely transformed. And I've experienced this myself. When I was doing these side hustles, I was like, oh, sick, like, in 6 months' time, because I was sacrificing everything and I was just working, I was like, 6 months to a year, yeah, sick, like, there's no way I don't win. But I didn't, or not in my eyes anyway, because what I was hoping would happen was I'm going to leave my 9 to 5. I'm going to be doing this side hustle full time. I'm going to be making X amount of money per month. And none of that happened. But I was so fixated on the end goal and leaving my 9 to 5 and all this stuff that I didn't appreciate the growth that was happening outside of that, which then resulted in my opinion, I was going backwards in a way. There was still plenty of things that was good in my life, but I didn't appreciate that because I was looking at the people around me. I was like, oh, fucking that, this guy, he's been doing it at the same time as me and he's managed to leave his 9 to 5. This guy's making this much money per month and he's got that win. And I was looking at like the things that was happening in my life and I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all. But I didn't appreciate that everybody's story is different and what one person has to learn might not be the same lessons that you have to learn. Or you may have to learn them lessons, but now is not the right time. Because everybody's time is different, everyone's paper is different. Like, it's easy to compare yourself to the people around you and feel like you're not getting the results that you're hoping for. And then that just causes you to get into a frame of mind where you don't believe the changes are happening, even though they are. But your story is not going how you plan, because as much as you are in charge of like what happens in your life, there's still going to be things in your life that are completely out of your control. Like, you can't predict or put a time on exactly when you're going to make it. Whatever that may look like to each person, there's no way that you can say like, oh yeah, by next month I'm gonna, for me, I can't say like, oh, by next month I'm gonna have 1,000 subscribers. That I can say all of this stuff and I can put in the actions in order for this to happen, but there is no guarantee because it's out of my control. I can't force people to subscribe and watch my content, but what I can do is make content that I enjoy, make content that is good, is true to who I am, and is beneficial to everyone. I can do that, but then it's up to each person. So yeah, I got into a frame of mind where, to be honest, I thought my life sucked, which is, looking back, it was ignorant of me because I had a car, I had a job, I was able to go to the gym, like I'm healthy, but I got so in my own mind because I was still working a 9 to 5 and I was like, I like my life shit. When it wasn't, I was able to do what I want, but I got too fixated on the end goal and timings of when everything's going to happen because I wasn't doing these side hustles for the love anymore like I was at the start. I was doing it because I wanted, I told myself, oh, the 9 to 5 shit, oh yeah, like in the next 2 years I'm gonna be making this much money per month, and I was completely off schedule and every goal that I was setting, I wasn't achieving that. So then it was like, oh fuck, like I'm behind, I gotta rush, I gotta make it happen. And I didn't appreciate that just because the people around me are winning. That may not be my time. And look, like a year later, I was doing it for 2 years, and a whole year later, I'm not even doing them side hustles anymore. And it worked out for the better because now I'm creating content that I actually want to create and doing things that I actually want to do rather than just doing things because I felt like I had to, if that makes sense. But yeah, like don't rush the journey, because as soon as you start rushing the journey, that's when the enjoyment factor of it all just gets sucked out of it. Because like the best bit about it all is, even for me, even like I'm so far from where I want to be, I can look back at what I was like a year ago or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and be like, damn, like we've come a long way because we have. Like, I never ever thought I would even purchase a camera. I know it's, not the best high end camera ever, but it's still like, I can't even remember how much it cost, like £500 or something like that. Like I never thought I'd do that and I'd be creating content for you guys, because to be honest, I wasn't in control of my life entirely. I didn't have anyone telling me like what to do and when to do it, but I boxed myself in without realizing it because all I wanted to do was leave my job. But yeah, that would be something that I would have to tell you guys, because it was a pivotal moment in my own story. Is just don't rush the process, because everything you enjoy about it no longer becomes fun anymore. Is a race. It becomes a race rather than a journey, and you begin to ignore the lessons and stuff like that, and yeah, you just end up throwing a smoke screen for yourself, and it's no good for anyone.